My name is Pablo de la Cruz, and this is my final oral presentation. I think the role of PR in today's world is really like a boiling pot of skills and ideas that are beneficial not only to the career of PR, but just in general on various platforms. For example, I learned through this course the mastery of storytelling, the ability to work effectively in groups, and creative problem solving, and just those are just skills that in PR will be very beneficial, but really can be applied to in any situation. For example, in school, that working effectively in groups was a great skill to have because I do that and I did that not only in this class but in many of my other courses. But I think three of the most important and useful things that I got out of this course was the skill of effective communication, the skill of organization and planning, and one of the most interesting things that I learned was that ethics and morals and an obligation to both of those ideas actually plays a big role in the field of PR. That's something that I didn't know. But going back to effective communication, I think that's a great skill that you want to have not only in the field of PR, but just in general. You want to be able to effectively communicate with the world around you. But specifically in PR, I know and I learned that you're going to be building and maintaining relationships with organizations or companies or just individual clients. And in order to build and maintain those relationships, you need to have effective communication skills. It's not always the easiest thing. In fact, George Bernard Shaw said that the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it takes place. George Bernard Shaw said that, and I think what he meant, or what I learned that he might have meant, was I got through one of my favorite exercises in this course, and that was when we had to come up with an apology for a Diet Pepsi incident that had happened to a certain family. And, no matter how hard you prepare a message, you're not always going to have total control over how individuals or a group of individuals perceive that message. And I think that's what he said. But nonetheless, to effectively communicate, we must realize that we are all different in the way we perceive the world and use this understanding as a guide to our communication with others. Tony Robinson said that, and I think that that ties into the idea of knowing that you're not always going to have control over the way people perceive it, but you have to understand that not everyone perceives the world or messages the way that you do. And that's a useful skill in effective communication, and that just ties into why you would want to have a skill like that that would be beneficial in the field of PR and just in general in any career. Another thing that I thought was really interesting was that an obligation to ethics and morals actually plays a big role in PR. I think of PR as business. And when you hear the word business, it sounds kind of greedy and it has a negative connotation to it. It's more of just like individual gain. But in the field of PR, there's actually a lot of truth that needs to be applied to the career. For example, there's truth telling, there's promise keeping, there's loyalty, and there's commitments. And it's the rule of thumb, just be honest. And you want to help the public and you want to be there for the public and you want the public to work hand in hand with you and with your product or your company. And it was interesting to find that we have obligations to ourselves, to our employers and our clients, as well as to organizations, to our profession, and to our society. We want to consider social needs and claims. In fact, I learned that the success of public relations in the 21st century will depend largely on how the field responds to issues of ethical conduct. I thought that was super interesting because, like I said, I think of PR as a business, and that ties into with certain negative aspects of that. But really, morals and ethics does play a big role in this field. Also, the planning was a great skill that I learned because you're just gonna need that in so many like different levels of your life. For example, I need that a lot in school, and a lot of the guest speakers also brought that up to us. You need planning for many different things. For example, to come up with a big idea, you need to be able to plan creatively and critically, and that's going to be so useful. That's one of the most beneficial things that I got out of a lot of the guest speakers was that plan, no matter what you're doing, no matter what like certain aspect of PR you're taking on, you want to be able to effectively plan. And that's what I really got out of those are three important things that I really got out of this course was effective communication skills, planning skills, and just being able to learn that ethics and morals plays a big role in the field of PR.